Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to part 5 of Sorcery. In the previous part, if you remember and saw, we went to the mines, we defeated an ogre, a goblin, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I collected some gold from there too. We then traveled all the way to this Kristatani. We rested for the night, and now we're heading out together to get the Crown of Kings. So let's go beyond Chris Tatani. I think that's how you pronounce the place. You wake up early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave the village. This is now the third day of your journey. The muscles in your leg are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. Spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Trisitani is surrounded by several miles of fields, a filthy town set into a bowl of mud. Wait, what? Trisitani is surrounded by several miles of fields, a filthy town set into a bowl of mud. As you follow the path between lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right hand the right hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left hand wait what? The right hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly into the deep woodland. If I go to the right, we will go to this place. If we go to the left, we have to go through the forest, but we can go to Dumpus. But wouldn't Ride also head to Dumpus? I think I'm gonna go to the right. I don't want to go to the forest. So let's go between the buildings. You glimpse a few people at work by the buildings. There will be precious little company on your journey, so you should take it while you can. Approaching a low wall, you see a blind beggar, sheltering in the shade, with his hand held outstretched. He hears your approach and clicks his fingers. Elms, would you? For love of elm. Okay. The man is a sorry sight. He's skinny and sparsely clothed, and his eyes are painted with a dark dye to indicate his blindness for all to see. Please, please, sir, I wouldn't ask if I didn't need you. Used to be a golem. See, now I don't see. Please. Sure, give him a coin. Toss a coin to the beggar. You place a coin in his outstretched hand. You are kind, traveler, the beggar says. He feels over the surface of the coin and bites down on it. Why me? This is a gold piece. You are too generous to a poor, sightless beggar. You will get me killed if anyone knows that I have it. Beggar beams up at you. It won't last. Look after yourself. Oh, it won't last. Sure, it won't last, you tell him. Be on your guard. And you prepare to walk away. Wait, calls. One moment, please. Begins to scribble around, feeling over his body as if looking for holes. Eventually, he cries, "Aha!" and pulls out a copper key, which he holds out to you. What is that? What is that? You ask cautiously. Years ago, I lived in Korea, he explained. Korea was my home, and in the city port, I watched over prisoners in the. I checked the internet. There is jail. I think the meaning for GAOL is jail. So yeah, in the jail. Beware the red eyes in Korea, or my fate will be for you, and you will be here with me begging for your living. What are the red eyes? Pray you will now find out. In his simple reply, listen to me. Korea is very strangers, but this key will help you if you be captured by red eyes. Trust me. As the man talks, you step quickly out of the road. As an ox cart whips past you, raising dust. It does not stop. Take the key. Take the key and put it safely into your pack. Thank you. You say, then move on. Follow the path away from the village for half the morning. The walk is easy. It feels as natural as breathing. You have the road move beneath your feet. Hard to believe you trained for this journey so long, now that you're on it. You climb a little, tracing the side of the group tree until you meet a fork in the road. You could continue straight on and upwards, or turn west. Oh wow. Go to the tree? No, I'm gonna go to the ruined city, town. May have interesting stuff in it. Continue along the path, climbing. Your legs feel strong and lean. By the end of this journey, you will be built like a mountain goat. The afternoon progresses, long and easy. This place you are walking through seems thick with desolation, as if it was long ago abandoned. And then, as if to confirm your thought, you come across two enormous stone pillars, listing slightly either side of the road. They form a gate, but the gate is 3 times the height of a man. So I can look them over, go through, or go back the other way. Let's look them over. Peering closely, you make out the faded remains of carved characters. In the old script, L and K, remnant of a spell of fortune, perhaps, or of binding for these now fallen stones. L and K. I'm going to take a quick look at the spell book, see if there's any L and K. So I went through the spell book. Unless I miss it, I did not see any spell with an L and a K. So it's a spell that I do not know. Let's go through. There's nothing for it but to go forwards through the gate. Step into the shadow of the enormous gate. Ruins of walls line the path either side, but these are walls built from blocks the size of ox carts. Centuries ago, this must have been a palace of a king, 12 feet tall. Now it has been leveled and the stones stolen for the field walls and foundation of the village all around. Continue climbing or investigate the ruins. Let's investigate the ruins. Take a moment to clamber out of the ruins and off the path. You are surrounded by waist-high grasses. The ground rises and falls sharply around the outlines of houses and buildings. You trace the line of a street, wide through to run 3 cuts abreast. Abreast? Did I pronounce it? I think so. That leads quickly downhill towards the forest. Once this place was rich and plentiful. What happened here to remove every What happened here? What happened here to remove every last trace of these colossal people? Follow the street, look inside a house, or go back the path. Let's look inside a house. You stop by the edge of a house. The side wall stands as high as your knees. Grass knots above it. Looking inside, you can make out the edges of the fireplace, the hack wall, and an adjoining area. Perhaps a grain store or a bedroom. Search in the grass. Take a few moments to search through the long grasses and find nothing until your hand closes on the clay pot near one wall. It is shape of a wine jug, but about 3 times the usual size. Around the neck is a red stain. Wine? Maybe blood. It's impossible to tell. The base of the pot has been smashed away, perhaps by age, perhaps by someone unhappy with the contents. Leave the pot behind. Follow the street down, head back. Follow the street down. Follow the line of the streets down the slope of the hill. Further you go from the path, more overgrown the ruins become, until you can barely make out their outlines at all. After a while, you're not following the street at all, but simply holding to the same line. You approach the edge of a thick woodland. The game really wants me to go into the forest. It's the third time they asked me to turn back to the forest. I'm not gonna do that. Do I want to do that? This is a tough decision. I'm gonna go back and climb, I think. I'm gonna go into the forest. The path crosses over a low, broken wall, and then rises sharply uphill through a pass. After a while, you see 2 cave mouths, one on the left of the path, another to the right. Oh boy, there's 2 caves. I'm gonna have to sip the water. As I always say, right is always the right way. So let's head to the right cave. You pause at the mouth of the first cave and inside. There's a faint whistling sound. The wind, perhaps. Further in. Oh no. You creep further in, then a few steps on, you stumble and fall. As you do so, the whistling stops. To your horror, you realize that you have tripped over a foot. A giant slowly rubs its eyes and gets to his feet. It hoists up a massive stone club. Great. Giant. I'm going to grow in size. I cast big. You cast the spell and wait. Slowly the ground moves away from you. You're growing larger. The huge giant watches in dumb disbelief as you grow to match his size. And you draw the sword. Now I'm going to charge for. Bang. The giant swings his club and comes for you, determined to crack your bones by swinging the sword for his neck. And he got damage. 3 damage. Engaged by your attack, he beats his club against his palm, readying himself. And drop down, protecting himself as best as you can, just in time. His stupid eyes are watching closely, not want to take a risk. Side swipe. Bam. Lumbering in, you move in, aiming to trap the giant against the cave wall. Smelling of fear, he stomps the ground with one enormous foot, growling. Vent. Alright. Expecting a storm, you raise your guard as the giant swipes his terrible club. That rhymes. His eyes follow your movement cautiously. I'm just going to do a normal cut. It's moving much slower now. Let's do a thrust angle. Bam. Down for the count. You strike again. Rattling a massive blow that could cut stone. Stomp forward. Then sword slips between the giant ribs and he falls, grasping his last, in a noise like a gushing waterfall. Mountain sides fall silent. Examine the body. Step over to the body. The giant is quite dead. His eyes stare open and his mouth is wide mid-roar, showing his teeth. Something by his eye. Something do something by his mouth. Can I take his teeth? Oh. Tongue. Teeth. Or close his mouth. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna take a quick look at my spell book. I know I need the teeth for something, but I don't know about his tongue. Yeah, I'm gonna take his teeth. Pry loose his teeth. With a sword, you pry loose a couple of the giant's teeth. It's bloody work, but you will be able to take them with you. Search the body now. Please search the giant's body and find a pouch at his waist containing 8 gold pieces. Ah. And now I search the cave. Explore to the depths of the giant cave to see that you can find what you can find at the back of the cave room. I mean, you find a large loaf of bread. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat from. Amazing. You tear away the crust with your sword and then eat a few handfuls from inside. It's fairly nourishing, if not pleasant. And now I leave. Nice. Into the giant. Got his tooth. And a few gold pieces. What happened if I didn't cast a big? What would have happened then? Who knows? Let's turn downhill. You crest the rise and continue down the slope on the other side. You pass out through another gigantic gate and into a barren mountainside. Puff trips and slides down a steep, scree slope and then emerges into a sudden plain, as if the forest had been scoped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and by its bank stands a tiny village. I'm going to enter the village. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. Go to Dumpus. Today has been mercifully short and uneventful. We have made excellent progress with a decent meal and a night's sleep. The next day will start auspiciously. So you begin the gentle climb down into the village. Follow the path into the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dumpus. The streets are thin and narrow, and the buildings have been set close together, as if trying to stand the storm. There's a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems an unpleasant place. All the town to find an inn. Stop in the villages. Pass along the main path through the village and pause outside the hut, in which several of the hill dwellers are sitting and eating. They seem deep in discussion about something. Several are shaking their fists in the air. Lifting back the canvas flap, step inside. The hill dwellers stop talking immediately and look up to you. One gets up to his feet, gestures you forward. Step over. Step forward, and one of the others calls something in their native tongue. Points at your side to where your sword hangs out below the helm of your cloak. In broken common tongue, the first man croaks. No weapon. As he indicates a table by the door where you can leave it. Yeah. Yeah, look over the table. There are plenty of other weapons there, so the man appears honest enough. Sure. You unfasten your sword belt and leave your weapons on the table. The hill dwellers nod to show their appreciation and then beckons you to sit with them. Then they continue the conversation just as admittedly as before, speaking the local tongue that you cannot follow, but as they talk, they pour you a drink and provide you with food. Seem quite welcome. Listen to their talk. As you eat, you listen, catching a few words here and there. Goblin, arms. Kushitani seemed to be very concerned. Tell them you've been there. I've been to Kushitani, you declare. The man nod, but do not seem surprised. Slowly, you piece together the story. The group seems quite sure that the hologoblins are planning an attack. Kushitani, which is apparently one of the wealthiest spots in the hill. They're discussing whether or not it would be worth helping the village to defend itself. Oh. I think it's a good idea to help them. Because if goblins took over Kusatani, they will attack my land, my hometown, and the land. You must help them, declare earnestly. Kusatani, Kusatani, you does not help us. One of the men points out. They are rich, we are poor. You will place them in the debt. And not swayed by your ruthless logic. And you, how do you fight? I serve myself. The man nod. So you do not understand. So you do not understand what we might lose. The evening draws to close. The men thank you for your counsel and leave one by one. Explore the town. Halfway along the track, you come across a couple of merchant huts. You browse for items worth buying with your 12 gold pieces. Your attention is taken by a finely woven skull cap, a crafted sword, and a small bag of provisions. Quick look at my spellbook again. This is the third time that I had to look at my spellbook. I know how to use the skull cap for something. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the skull cap. Pick up the skull cap and turn it over, stolen from a priest of Dagune. Merchant declares with pride, a fine piece of work. 4 gold pieces. You can tell from feel of the cloth there is no inherent magic. I fear before. Paying 4 gold pieces, you place the skull cap in your sack. Sword. Carefully the leaf from the sword. 6 gold pieces. 5 provisions. Also 6 gold pieces. I'm not gonna buy that. No, that's enough. I want to buy the sword. No, if I buy the sword, I can't sleep anymore. You know what? I'm gonna rewind. I am going. I'm gonna buy the skull cap. 6 gold pieces strapped long sword around your waist. Buy provisions. I see the provisions. Buy them. That's enough. Is there anything I can help you with? Is there any work to be had here? I need to earn some money. The merchant sizes you up. You look like a good worker too. One of my friends needs some digging doing. I'm sure he would pay you and feed you for it. Digging what? You ask. The merchants shift uncomfortably. Doesn't matter, you will find out, he says at you. So, looks over his shoulder at the path. I'm going that way now myself. You coming? Follow the merchant. I think this was the final event for this part. Anyway, he leads you to a house on the edge of the village and introduces you to the householder. A stout man who is probably incapable of lifting a spade, let alone digging with it. What is he doing? A spade, man replies. Out back, needs digging. How much? Well, the man replies, it's pretty urgent. The old one's overflowing. How much money? 3 gold pieces. Started, why not? Spades out back, he replies, with a spades out back, he replies, with a jerk of his thumb. Walk through the man's house into the back garden. It smells terrible. Job is not just to dig a new crispit, but to dig over the old one. And it's going to be several hours work. It'll probably take the whole night. Like the spade, stuck in the ground by the hole and start digging. I'll cast a spell. Let's see, big. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cast big again. Cast the spell and wait for it to take effect. Then you feel the spade turn into a heavy tool to a mere toothpick in your hand. If you swell to 3 times the usual size, you have the digging work done in hardly any time. 3 gold pieces, the grateful householder also provides you with some food, as well as a space on the floor to rest for the remainder of the night. Settle down happily, quickly asleep. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. It seems as though you wander through doors and hallways built 10, 20 times your height. You are an insect, and the hills over which you walk are the follicles of hair on the shaved chin of a giant. Storms of hot, breath seems to sweep across you, threatening to blow you down into hell. Overhead, you fancy we hear the flap of giant wings. Batman came from the crowd. Perhaps this journey is finished. They will come for you. Isn't this the second time that you dream of Batman? Well, there will be we will exit Dumpers and head on to somewhere else in the next part of Sorcery. Steve Jackson's Sorcery. Thank you guys so much for watching. My throat's tired now, so I'm going to take a break. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.